Hey guys, welcome to tonight's video, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the afterlife. So I did a video maybe a week or two ago, and it was called Ghost versus Spirit, and it talked about what I believed was the difference between a ghost and a spirit. And in that video, I asked if you guys wanted to know my opinions and beliefs on the afterlife, and a couple of you said you did. So here I am making a video about what happens after you die. Before I get into this, I want to start by saying I'm not claiming to know exactly what happens after we pass away. Most of what I believe in comes from Sylvia Browne's book called The Other Side and Back. That's where I got a lot of my belief system from. It was stuff that really resonated with me, and it's what I choose to believe in. I know not everyone may believe in the same things as me, and that's completely okay. I'm not saying what you believe in is wrong and what I believe in is right. I'm not saying I'm wrong and you're right. Everyone's entitled to their own belief system, and I think that's what makes the world go round. So now anyway, let's dive into what I think happens after we pass away. I believe that we reincarnate many times. I don't think we live only one life. I think we live many, many lives, and I believe that we live many lives to gain knowledge and to further our soul. I think our soul is continuing to look for ways to grow, and I think that reincarnating is just one of those tools to help it do that. When we pass away, I do believe that we see a bright white light, and once we go through the light and transition to the other side, that we are greeted by loved ones that we have spent this life with and other lives with, and people on the other side that we may not have spent a life with, but we know them from the other side. You'll notice that I say the other side because I don't necessarily like the word heaven. I think the other side is amazing, and I think it's our true home, and I think this is just, of course, temporary. But I don't refer to it as heaven. I refer to it as the other side because I believe that it's just another dimension. For me, the other side isn't way up there. I believe that the other side is a parallel dimension to ours, kind of. I believe that the other side is kind of like a mirror image to Earth, except for its topography is about 3 feet higher than ours. And that's why when loved ones come to visit you, it appears like they're floating, but really they're walking on their own topography because they're just a couple feet higher than us. Does that make sense? Like I said, I think that the other side is a mirror image to Earth, except for the fact that it's more beautiful because there is no pollution, there's no erosion, things aren't warped, things don't age and decay like they do here. So I believe that everything there is kind of enhanced. Does that make sense? So like mountains are higher because they're not eroded, and the sky is bluer because there's no pollution, and the water is clearer and bluer because, again, it's just like that perfect image of, I don't know how to explain it. But I think you know where I'm getting at. Like, everything there is just more vibrant, it's more colorful, it's prettier, it's, you know, like, take the most beautiful landscape you can think of and multiply it times 10. Like, that's what I think the other side is. I believe that all the same kind of landmarks and continents exist, but I also believe that there are more continents there than here, because I believe that we used to have a continent or a island, whatever you want to call it, called Atlantis, and another one called Lemuria. If you want to know more about Atlantis or Lemuria, let me know in the comments and I'll make videos about those separately. But so I believe there's more there than there is here. And you know what's cool? I also believe that, okay, so think of like our big landmarks like the Taj Mahal or the Great Wall of China, or just really iconic places. I think they exist there, and I think they existed there first. I think when people reincarnate into this life, a lot of the ideas we get here to develop these kind of iconic places, I think it's our soul remembering those from the other side. Does that make sense? I mean, I get so frustrated when I talk to you guys and just try to explain things, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can never explain things as well as I'm thinking of them. So now when we get to the other side and we're greeted by our loved ones, I think we go to a place where we review the life that we just lived, and we do that to kind of further our knowledge and our soul from this previous life. What did we learn? What are our takeaways from it? How do we perfect ourselves more from the life that we just lived? People may be like, well, doesn't that take a long time? Well, I don't think there's a sense of time like it is here. You know, like, I think it's more of a circle than linear. Does that make, I'm gonna say that a lot. Does that make sense? I think when we're on the other side, we don't have the time, like, it's relative here. After we're done reviewing our life, I think we have this orientation type period where we kind of acclimate back to the other side. Some spirits or souls may have a more challenging time transitioning to the other side. Maybe they are upset or kind of grieving the loss of not being with loved ones anymore. But eventually, I think once you get acclimated, I think we are able to deal with emotions a lot better there than we are here. I don't think when we're there we have to deal with like depression or anxiety or nervousness, or I don't think we deal with those types of emotions after that orientation period. When we're there, I do think we have occupations or jobs or whatever you want to call it. I think there are things that we truly enjoy doing, so I don't think it's as much of a chore as it is here, because let's face it, there are days where I really don't want to go to work, and I think over there you don't have to go to work if you don't want to. It's one of those things where you do it because you enjoy it, and when you don't want to do it, you don't do it. It's not like we need money or anything like that over there. I also believe that we have the same types of organs and all that kind of stuff, except I believe it's like the mirror image, so like the heart's on the other side, and you know what I mean, everything's flip-flopped. We don't have to eat, we don't have to sleep, we don't have to do any of those normal bodily functions. I believe we do them if we just feel like it, but we definitely don't have to do them. I think it's a place that's a lot different than here, especially because anything that you can think of or imagine can become yours within that second. Do you know what I mean? So say you've always dreamt of this huge 12-bedroom house. I think if you want it, you just think of it and it's there. You know what I mean? And I don't know what that's really called. I don't know what that's called, but that's what I believe. I feel like I'm doing a horrible job of explaining any of this to you, but I hope you get some sense of what I believe in, and this video might just be like 15 minutes of me rambling on and you like being bored to death. I'm sorry, but I'm trying. I think all of our pets and animals and all that, I think they live on in the other side as well. When we want to come back for another life, I believe that we sit down, we write the life that we are choosing. I think we write out what struggles we want to go through to learn from. I think we write out a huge portion of our life, and that's what I think deja vu is. I think when we have deja vu, you know, when you feel like you've experienced it already but you really haven't, I think deja vu is your soul remembering that part in your chart that you wrote to come live. I know. Mind blown. I think after we get done writing our chart, we just reincarnate and come back for another lifetime, and we learn again, and you know, you just spend your time perfecting your soul. As for people that are evil in this world, I do not believe that they go to the other side like we do. I think they kind of go through a left door and they just kind of cycle right back in into another life, and of course they come back and they cause more trouble, and I don't know, I don't think they get to experience the other side like we do. So yeah, I just think like the other side is another dimension. I think it's our true home. I think that's where we are from, where we go back to every single time. I think we just keep reincarnating to perfect our soul. And I also do believe that there are other dimensions and other planets that we can live on and reincarnate into. I don't think Earth is the only place we go to live a life. I think there's other dimensions and other worlds and other species that we reincarnate as, except for animals. I think you stay in the same phylum. Does that make sense? I don't think that a human ever comes back as a horse, or a horse comes back as a human. Humans will always come back as humans. Animals always come back as animals, because, I mean, can you imagine how horrible that would be? If you were a human in one life and then you come back and you're stuck in the body of a spider the next time? Like, no, thank you. I hope that answers some of your questions regarding what my beliefs are in the afterlife. What I want to do with this video is, if you have any questions further about what I believe in the afterlife, leave them in a question down below, and I'll probably just do like a Q&A and answer those questions in a following video, because sometimes it's a lot to type out, and you know, I can't clearly express myself sometimes through just like a comment. So if you have any further questions about the afterlife, let me know in the comments below, and then I'll answer those questions in a coming Q&A video, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I didn't bore you to death. Oh my god, I feel like this is gonna be the most boring video ever, but I don't know, maybe you guys will like it. Anyway, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.